Healthy eating can feel overwhelming. You want meals that are delicious, easy to make, and also low calorie. But between busy schedules and bland ingredients, it's tempting to just give up and click on whatever Uber Eats notification pops up on your phone next. That's where the air fryer changes the game. It's not just another kitchen gadget, it's a tool that makes healthier cooking easier, faster, and genuinely enjoyable. Today, I'll share the 4 foods that I rely on my air fryer for. Ones that have completely transformed how I eat and cook, helping you decide if this device is really worth the investment. Hey, I'm Will. I'm a certified nutrition coach, and I started this channel really to share my journey in healthy eating and help other busy professionals get in shape and save money through integrating home cooking into their lifestyle in a way that works for you. So let's talk about the big picture problem. Healthy eating can be a struggle. We have no time to cook, especially no time to prepare and clean, and typical low-calorie foods like most veggies are not enjoyed by most people, and in order to make them taste good, usually require a ton of oil and fats. And it seems like every new restaurant recently that comes out that's all hipster and new and modern is called like Thistle plus Thyme or something, and the appetizer is like a $19 crispy Brussels sprouts or whatever. And like, is it really healthy just because it's Brussels sprouts if it's deep fried and then covered in cheese? No, right? But that's not the point. We need to be able to eat veggies that are both enjoyable, but also keeping it closer to its base ingredients so that we're actually eating something that's good for us and help us keep the weight off that we're trying to lose. So where does the air fryer come into this? One, it is considerably faster to cook things in the air fryer than it does in the oven. For example, chicken thighs could take anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes in order to cook through completely, and it doesn't come out with as crispy of a texture as if you would use the air fryer. Meanwhile, the air fryer can make crispy chicken thighs in about 14 minutes, which cuts the cooking time in half. In the meantime, you could be doing something else with your day. You could be putting some rice in the rice cooker. You could be grilling or steaming some veggies on the stovetop while you have those chicken thighs hands-free getting crisped up in the air fryer. And that kind of touches on the second biggest benefit of the air fryer is it's very beginner friendly. Other tools and traditional cooking methods such as Dutch oven or cast iron skillets often take a little bit more skill and practice to get to a point where you're pumping out high quality meals in an effective manner. Additionally, these other methods can often involve a lot more prep as well as a lot more cleaning. For example, an air fryer, you can do most of the work directly in the basket. You could reasonably throw in raw veggies, spray oil directly onto it. Yes, you're not supposed to, but honestly, I think it's completely fine. Salt, season, all in this one basket. You don't have to pull out an extra mixing bowl or do some fancy shit. You just throw it all in here, shake it up, throw it in, press play, go, get on with your day. And that kind of touches on the third aspect of no, you don't have to drizzle a gallon of olive oil in order to make these things taste good. A little bit of oil sprayed on top of veggies and anything you're cooking in the air fryer goes a much longer way in the air fryer versus needing to deep fry something on the stovetop or douse something in oil in the oven in order to get that same crisp. And finally, it is slightly more energy efficient. So like your electricity bill might go down a couple dollars because you're not having to heat up an entire oven. Instead, you're heating up just the amount of space that you need to cook the ingredients you're trying to cook. So now that I've talked about the reasons why the air fryer is so useful, now I'm gonna go into a couple of practical uses on some everyday vegetables that you see at your grocery store or Costco every single day so that you can get some ideas of veggies that you could cook a lot of with this device to add into your weekly meals with your carbs and your protein. Let's go. To start off with, we're gonna go through a couple of examples: zucchinis, tomatoes, and Brussels sprouts. But generally, what I want you to remember is this air fried veggies cheat sheet. Basically, you can follow this formula pretty roughly and get great success with most veggies that like to go in the air fryer. In the video here, you'll see that I'm wiping down some zucchinis after I rinse them off in the water. This is an optional step if you really enjoy getting that char look on your zucchini. Next up, I'm just gonna start slicing. And yes, you're supposed to like slice them evenly, but honestly this takes a lot of practice, and if you look closely, my knife skills are not exactly the best. So I really recommend investing in a mandolin. I have one myself and I was just simply too lazy to take it out, and I've chopped a lot of zucchini so I can put these into pretty even medallions. So while I'm working on just kind of separating these out, I'm gonna talk about some of the caveats that I have in the cheat sheet. You'll notice that I don't have specific measurements for oil and seasoning. That's because every person has individual taste buds, and so I don't believe that it makes sense to prescribe a specific amount of oil or seasoning, because really your mileage might vary. For me, for example, I have an oil sprayer, and for this oil sprayer, I do about 15 sprays. That comes out to about 5-ish, 3 milliliters of oil. And depending on your mileage in terms of like how much oil you specifically would like to afford, it'll depend. Like really, I would just recommend lightly coating to start. And if you don't really care about calories, just go ahead and add more. It doesn't really hurt that much. As for seasonings, you'll notice I put like a tiny pinch of salt and a tiny pinch of pepper. And again, this is an area where your mileage may vary, which is why you need to season to taste. Different people have way different salt tolerances and preferences. You'll see that my hand on my side, I'll put very little salt. Like I put like 1 or 2 pinches of salt for 3 or 4 zucchinis. That's because I have a really low salt tolerance, and it tends to dry out my nose and my mouth, and so I get really uncomfortable when I eat a ton of salt. So that's why you need salt to taste. And again here, you'll notice that I'm going to actually set this to 400 degrees for 12 minutes before I press play in the air fryer. This is because I like my zucchini more tender and more charred than usual. And after 6 minutes, take it out, give it a shake. And boom, a nice char. And here's the tomatoes. You know exactly what I'm gonna do to these. Here's an example using Brussels sprouts. You're gonna see me go with step 1, slice, and then step 2, spray a little bit of oil, step 3, sprinkle some salt and pepper, step 4, throw it in the air fryer, and I'm doing 370 for 14 minutes. So here's an example that's not veggies. Here I'm cooking some chicken thighs, and I decided to cook these at 360 degrees for a total of 16 minutes. But again, within that range of 360 to 380, you just have to adjust the minutes up or down 1 or 2. So like for example, you could also cook this at 380 for 14 minutes, make it cook a little bit faster. This works for any kind of seasoning. So now we're here, and hopefully you took away at least one recipe that you feel like you would like to use in your own weekly meal plan. And to recap, should you buy an air fryer? Well, really, how much does speed matter to you in your life? If you're finding that speed of cooking is the main barrier to you pumping out healthy meals every single week, then the air fryer is definitely gonna help. The investment of money for your health is worth it, and it will pay for that investment many times over the course of your life. So for me, it's a no-brainer. Secondly, do you want a hands-free tool that you can add to your arsenal so you can throw in some more of your veggies, carbs, and proteins to let sit and be hands-free and cook while you work on something else? If you feel like you are trying to do too many things at once in the kitchen, this is a good buy for you. And lastly, if you feel like you've really not found a way to cook veggies that you feel like is appetizing to you, I would definitely give the air fryer a shot, because again, a little bit of oil goes a lot longer of a way with the air fryer. And so it can make what could be very boring veggies otherwise interesting because of what you can get with just a little bit of extra machinery on your fingertips. Ultimately, if you're on a weight loss journey, I cannot sing the praises of the air fryer enough, because at the end of the day, losing weight and maintaining weight is all about calorie balance. And one of the best ways to eat less calories is to eat more low-calorie foods to fill you up so that you don't go hungry and end up binging and getting some takeouts. If you're able to pump out just 1 or 2 extra batches of veggies to go with your meals every single day, every single week, you will see a marked improvement in your ability to stay full on less calories, and therefore helping you reach those weight loss goals. Just 3 or 4 years ago, I used to be like 230 pounds. I'm now at 187. And one thing about me is I've never eaten a lot of junk food, but I just like to eat a lot of food. I had a huge appetite. And so when it comes to healthy eating, the big hack for me is to just fill myself up with so many tasty veggies that I could, so that I would end up eating less while still feeling full. So if that's something that resonates with you, I would totally look at prioritizing finding things that you could do to help make your veggies more tasty, such as buying an air fryer. If you're looking for how you can start investing in your kitchen without breaking the bank, subscribe so you don't miss my next video on essential cooking gear for healthy home cooking while on a budget. As always, thanks for showing up. I'll see you in the next one.